Hi everyone, and welcome to the 5th annual and first all-virtual ChiTeen Lit Fest. ChiTeen Lit Fest strives to be an inclusive space for everyone, and we appreciate you helping us to foster an environment where everyone feels welcome. This is IG Poetry with 826CHI. 826CHI is an arts education nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting students ages 6 to 18 with their creative and expository writing skills, and to helping teachers inspire their students to write. Enjoy the workshop.
Hi everyone, my name is Natasha and I'm the manager of education at 826CHI. Thank you for joining our IG Poetry workshop and thank you for attending ChiTeen Lit Fest. Our workshop today is going to be hosted by me, Joelle, who you just heard from, and Esperanza. Joelle and Esperanza are in our Teen Writer Studio program, a year-long writing workshop for teens all over Chicago. We have many types of programs at 826CHI, and you can learn all about them on our website, www.826chi.org. I'm so happy to be co-facilitating with these two. We had so much fun putting this all together. So why Instagram and why poetry? When Instagram started, it was always intended to be a highly graphic and visual platform, and since the early days, it has worked so beautifully with poetry. Because of the short and concise nature of poetry, people started realizing that you didn't always need a full web page to experience a poem digitally. You can totally fit a poem in these smaller dimensions and really control how it's presented. So today, the three of us are going to show you some of the ways to use visual techniques within the Instagram app and beyond to make your poetry pop, be dynamic, and really represent you. Ultimately, we want to show you how to have fun with it. So before we dive in, we're going to listen to some poetry, again, inspired. This poem I'm going to play is an animated poem to get us thinking about how poetry can live in a visual space.
Chicago by Izzy. I still think she's beautiful. At times, she isn't the cleanest, under certain circumstances. Some people find love here. I guess you can call it romance. Some people come back to her. Some people don't get second chances. I still think she's beautiful. Being judged by the media, kids don't play in her park anymore. Roses don't grow in her yard anymore. I still think she's beautiful. I see what they don't. I accept what they won't. The bad, the good, the fancy, the hood, the rich, the poor, gaining justice, and more. I can hear as she desperately cries out for help. Even when she's covered in yellow tape, I still think she's beautiful. I still think she's tasty. People might say she's ugly, but in my mind, I think she's beautiful. Chicago, Illinois.
Excellent. So I'd like to introduce you to another astounding poet, Stella Binion. She is a Chicago poet who often uses video as a way to expand the life of a poem. Let's watch a snippet of her work. So the first thing we want to do is download Instagram Threads. This app was designed for close friends to stay connected throughout the day, but what it does really well is create captioning so that we don't have to bother with typing up our own captions. It does it for us. So once it's downloaded, you're going to connect it to your microphone and your video. It'll kind of pop up with, oh, what close friends do you want to choose? So I'm just going to continue. I'm going to turn on my notifications, and then you're going to click try it so that we can get started. And so as you record a video, it's going to record your speaking and it's going to caption it. So I'm just going to, hello, do a quick test. Hello, hello, hello. And you see that it is starting to record the audio. So I'm gonna do a series of shots and recite a poem so that I'm making my own video poem, essentially. And this poem is called The Garden of Delight by Lucille Clifton. For some, it is stone, bare smooth as a buttock, rounding into the crevice of the world. For some, it is extravagant, water, mouths wide, washing together, forever. For some, it is fire, for some, air. And for some, certain only of the syllables, it is the element they search their lives for. Eden, for them, it is a test. So as you can see, I did a different shot of something for each stanza. You can totally experiment with what your visual is and how it's changing. Once you've made your video, you can post it to your story or send it to a close friend. You can always download it and then edit a string of them together like I did if you wanted to make a longer piece, or you can put them in your highlights if you want people to experience your poetry that way, because you can really showcase your titles there. I hope you enjoy using captioning, not just for poetry, but any type of Instagram story or video you might want to post, because it really helps people access what you're putting out there if they're hard of hearing or in an area in which they can't put their volume up on their phone. Next, we have Esperanza, who's going to show us how to play with the templates and settings in stories to use the app in a collage type way. Take it away, Espe.
So, hi everybody, I'm just going to be giving you a rough example of different ways that you can lay out your poetry on Instagram. So I started off with just a photo of some pins and sewing tools that I have, and I'm going to put my poetry on top of it. I currently don't have any of mine, sorry, so I would go to Safari and I just searched up example poetry, hold down copy. It should be the same for yours in your camera roll. If you just hold down, it'll give you different options. Just push copy. When you come back, it'll pop up as a sticker and you just push add sticker. So you can invert it, you can make it larger, you can make it smaller, you can put it in the corners, rotate it any way you want. So once you do that, you can decorate it in any way that you want. So you can click on the little scribble icon in the top right corner. You can choose any one of these colors down below. They give you like 3 different options and tones. So you can choose any color you want and you can make them larger or smaller and at any design. If you want to choose a color that's already incorporated in the background photo you took, you choose the eyedropper tool, and wherever you hover over it on that color, it should change to it, and then you should be able to draw with it. So that's just one way that you can incorporate a photo you took with your poetry. Another way is, if you want a solid background, you would just choose the color that you want. Let's say I want green, and you would hold down until the whole screen turns green, or turns whatever color you want it to be. If you want to incorporate aspects of the photo you still took, you can erase parts of it. Let's say I want to do like a little box behind it, just like that. And you can move it around, you can restore it. So another thing you can do is you can incorporate more than one piece of poetry. So if I go back, and let's say I want to do not Pinterest, another poem, I'd hold down, copy, same thing, come back. It'll pop up again as a sticker, and oops, sorry, let me do that one more time. It'll pop up once more as a sticker, and you can just add it again. You can also, add different colors, just really make it pop. Obviously, yours would look a lot better than mine would, but it's just a couple different rough examples of what you can do.
Thanks, Espe. Now we have Joelle, who's going to show us how to make blackout poetry, which is a great way to experiment with photos you might already have in your phone instead of having to write your own poem. Take it away, Joelle.
For our next activity, we are going to be doing blackout poetry. As some of you may know, blackout poetry is when you take an already established text, like a news article or a page from a book, and create your own piece of poetry. This is typically done by isolating certain words from the text and going over the rest in black marker, hence the name. Today, we're going to be doing a version of this virtually. All you need is a device with the ability to take a screenshot and an app that allows you to draw on a photo. I'm going to be using GoodNotes, but you can use any other app that has the same capabilities, such as UDoodle. Let's get into it. Okay, so to begin, we're going to need to find our source text. So the text that we're kind of blacking out to make our own piece of poetry. So today, I'm going to encourage you all to find a short story to use as this text. This could be an older short story, maybe it's something you read in school, or it could even be like a newer short story that you found in a literary magazine. Maybe it's a teen literary magazine. So take a few minutes now to scour Google or even your bookshelf for a really good short story. And if it is from your bookshelf, you can always take a picture of it, and that way you can still do the blacking out digitally. So for me, I'm going to use The Lottery by Shirley Jackson, and fortunately for me, I know there's a version of that online. So I'm going to take this time to look through the story that I chose and kind of find my favorite part and see what stands out to me. For those of you who might have trouble figuring out which short story to use, I would encourage you to check out ChiTeen Lit Fest's website, where we have a blog with some amazing short stories, and you can always use one of those as well. So once you found your short story, like I said, kind of take some time to look through it and basically find your favorite part. If there's a part that really sticks out to you, or a part where you see some words and kind of see another story within the story, I would encourage you to single out that part and take a picture of it. So for me, that's at the beginning of The Lottery. I really enjoy the beginning. So I'm going to take some screenshots of the first and second paragraphs. And I'll give everybody a chance to do that as well. And once everybody has their screenshots or their pictures, we're going to move over to our app that allows us to draw on those. Okay, so now I'm in my app that will allow me to draw all over this text that I have. I'll give you all a minute to pull these apps up. And just so you know, the most important thing is that you're able to kind of X things out and circle things with your app. And it's also fun if you can draw with your app, because we can do some fun things with that. And that's one of my favorite things about Blackout Poetry, is it can combine visual art and literary art. So once you all are ready and have your short stories kind of loaded up onto your app, I would encourage you all to go through and kind of find the words that stick out to you. So that's what I like to do first. I like to just select a lot of words that I like and kind of start shaping a poem. And the nice thing about doing this digitally is if I decide that I want to change it, I can just erase. So you can really test out a bunch of different things. So I think I'm going to start with the word blossoming. Let's see. Blossoming people gather in time of liberty. And of course, I don't have very much yet, and I only took a few words from each paragraph. But that's the fun of this. You can make it as long or as short as you like. And so if I were to just use this as an example and make this my entire poem, even though it's rather short for a poem, in the traditional Blackout Poetry format, I'll show you what it would look like. So I would black out everything else and I'll erase my highlighting, but I'll black out everything else. And this part is kind of fun. So I just have my words that stand out left. And you can use any color you want, and you can get really creative with this. Sometimes people don't black out. Sometimes they put boxes around the words that are part of their poem. And I think maybe I'll do some art to go along with my kind of singular sentence that I'm using to represent my poem. So this is what your final product could look like. It could look something like this. You can also have fun. So I might want to draw some things. So I might want to draw some flowers in the background and do something like that. And that's where this gets really fun. And you can make something that looks really interesting and is Instagram worthy. Fool around with colors and shading and things like that. Do things to emphasize what's part of my poem, like I'm doing now. Sometimes people put boxes around the words that are part of their poem. You can do drawings, things like that. And we would love to see all of your creations, so be sure to tag 826CHI and ChiTeen Lit Fest and show them off.
Thanks, Joelle. We hope you have all enjoyed checking out these techniques and styles. If you want to try them out, you can share your awesome creations by tagging ChiTeen Lit Fest and 826CHI. We'd love to see how you make your own poetry. Again, if you want to learn more about 826CHI and our awesome programs and publications, visit www.826chi.org. See you later.
Thank you everyone for attending IG Poetry. Let's give a big round of applause for everyone from H26CHI.